Your cat dropped a dead mouse at your feet this morning. Maybe a bird, maybe just a crumpled sock. And you stood there, half awake, coffee in hand, genuinely unsure whether to say thank you or just quietly call a therapist. Here's the thing that nobody ever tells you. That moment, that weird, slightly gross, completely confusing moment right there, it might honestly be the single most truthful thing your cat has ever said to you in its entire life. Because cats don't talk. They don't write notes. They don't send texts at 2 a.m. saying, "Hey, just wanted you to know that I truly care about you so deeply." They do something far older than any language. Something that goes back thousands of years before cats ever set a single paw inside a human home. And when you truly understand what's really happening in that moment, you will honestly never look at your cat quite the same way again. I promise you that. Let me ask you something real right now. How long have you had your cat? A year? 5 years? Maybe much longer than that? And in all that time, did you ever stop and genuinely wonder what your cat actually thinks of you? Not in a cute Instagram caption kind of way, but really, genuinely. What are you to them? A roommate? A servant? Something else entirely? The answer, it turns out, is sitting right there in that little gift they quietly left at your feet. Let me ask you something real right now. How long have you had your cat? A year? 5 years? Maybe much longer than that? And in all that time, did you ever stop and genuinely wonder what your cat actually thinks of you? Not in a cute Instagram caption kind of way, but really, genuinely. What are you to them? A roommate? A servant? Something else entirely? The answer, it turns out, is sitting right there in that little gift they quietly left at your feet. Here's what most people assume. Cats bring gifts because of instinct. Pure, simple, mechanical instinct. Like a computer running a program. And yes, instinct is certainly part of it. But that explanation has always felt a little too easy to me. A little too convenient. Because if you've ever carefully watched your cat choose exactly which item to bring you, and exactly when, you start to seriously wonder if instinct is really the whole entire story. There's a moment a lot of cat owners describe, but almost never talk about publicly. You're having a rough day. Maybe you're sad, maybe exhausted, maybe you've just been sitting too still for far too long, and your cat walks in, drops something at your feet, and just looks at you. Not meowing, not demanding anything at all, just looking. And something in that look feels less like instinct and more like genuine recognition. Like they truly saw you. Scientists have spent decades studying this exact behavior. And what they've found is genuinely surprising. Not because it proves cats are secretly emotional geniuses, but because it reveals something deeply important about the relationship between cats and humans that most of us completely misunderstand. We think we domesticated cats. We think we brought them in from the wild and made them tame. But the real history is far more complicated than that. About 10,000 years ago, something shifted. Humans started storing grain. Grain attracted rodents. Rodents attracted wild cats. And here's the part that changes everything. The cats chose to stay. Not because we trained them or trapped them in any way. They made a quiet calculation. They decided this arrangement actually worked for them. And from that moment on, the relationship between cats and humans was always, quietly, about partnership. So when your cat brings you a mouse, or a toy, or yes, even a sock, they are absolutely not malfunctioning. They are not confused at all. They are doing something that is written deep into the very foundation of what a cat truly is. They are contributing to the partnership. They are bringing something real to the table, literally. The fact that you may not need a dead bird at 7 a.m. is beside the point. The intention behind it is real. Now, I want to be careful here, because I'm not about to tell you that your cat loves you the way a human loves you. That would simply be dishonest. Cats are not small humans in fur coats. Their emotional world is genuinely very different from ours. But different doesn't mean lesser. And it doesn't mean distant. What cats feel and what they express through these gifts runs surprisingly deep. Much deeper than most pet owners ever get to truly see. We're going to go through all of it today. The science, the history, the behavior, and those quiet emotional layers that sit underneath everything. By the time we're done, you'll understand something about your cat that most people live with for years and never fully grasp. And you might also understand something about yourself and why this particular bond between a human and a cat has lasted 10,000 years and shows absolutely no sign of stopping. Let's start with the basics, because the basics are actually fascinating. Cats are what scientists call facultative social animals. That's a fancy way of saying they can live alone, but they don't always prefer to. Unlike dogs, who are wired for pack life, cats developed their social skills more quietly, more selectively. A cat doesn't bond with everyone. When a cat decides to bond with you, that decision truly carries weight. It was not automatic. It was chosen. And one of the primary ways cats express that bond is through what researchers call gift-giving behavior. It sounds almost formal when you say it like that, gift-giving behavior. But that's exactly what it is. It's a deliberate act. Your cat is not accidentally dropping things near you. They are bringing something to you specifically. Not to the corner of the room. Not to the middle of the floor. To you. That specificity matters far more than most people realize. Here's where it gets truly interesting. Female cats do this more than males. And cats spayed or neutered young do it more than those that weren't. Why? Because this behavior is tied to something called provisioning. In the wild, a mother cat doesn't just hunt for herself. She hunts for her kittens. She brings food back. She teaches. She provides. And when your cat brings something to you, that ancient maternal instinct is quietly running in the background. Your cat, on some level, has decided you need to be provided for. They have looked at you, this large, clumsy creature who somehow can't catch a single mouse, and thought, this one needs real help. I'll handle it. There's something almost unbearably tender about that when you sit with it long enough. They're not looking down at you. They're stepping up for you. In their language, in their own logic, that is care. Real, functional, expressed care. Now let's talk about the toys. Because not every gift is a dead animal, and that matters. A lot of indoor cats who have never hunted anything in their lives still bring you toys. Socks, hair ties, pieces of paper. They bring them with the same energy, the same little trot, the same deliberate placement. Which tells us something important. The behavior isn't really about the object. It never was. It's about the act of bringing. The object is simply the vehicle. Think of it like this. Imagine you want to tell someone you're thinking of them, but you don't have the words. So you bring them something. Anything. A flower from outside. A book you finished. A cup of tea without being asked. The thing itself isn't the message. The reaching out is the message. Cats live in that space permanently. Every gift, every toy at your feet, every sock dragged from the basket is a reach. A small, quiet, persistent reach toward you. There's also a teaching component that most people completely miss. When cats bring prey, alive or dead, they are sometimes trying to show you how. Mother cats do this with kittens. They bring stunned prey and let the kittens practice. Your cat may genuinely believe you would benefit from a demonstration. That if they show you often enough, you'll eventually get it. It's misguided, obviously. But it is, in the most literal sense, your cat trying to help you survive. And here's what gets me every time I think about this. Your cat is not doing this because they were trained to. Nobody rewarded them for bringing you gifts. In fact, most owners react with horror, which is the opposite of positive reinforcement. But the behavior continues. Because it isn't coming from a place of seeking approval. It's coming from somewhere older and quieter. It comes from a relationship they have already decided, in their own terms, is real. Let's pause on that for a moment. We spend a lot of time wondering if our cats really care about us. We joke about it. Cats are aloof. Cats are independent. Cats would replace you with a warm cushion if they could. It's a running cultural joke going on for decades. But the gift behavior, when you look at it clearly, is a direct answer to that question. They bring to you what they value most. They share their hunt. You don't do that for someone you're indifferent to. There's one more layer we haven't touched yet, and it might be the most surprising. It has to do with how cats perceive the humans they live with, not as owners, not as feeders. Research into feline social cognition suggests that cats with strong bonds to their humans don't really see us as a different species. They interact with us the same way they interact with other cats. Which sounds simple, but it actually changes everything about what the gifts truly mean. When cats live with other cats, they trust, they groom each other, they sleep pressed together, they share food, they bring each other things. These are the currencies of feline friendship. And your cat has placed you inside that same circle. Not as an owner, not as a provider, as a fellow cat, essentially, as a member of their social world, which means every gift they bring is also an invitation. Come into my world. You belong here. I've decided that already. Dr. John Bradshaw, an anthrozoologist at Bristol, spent years studying how cats perceive humans. One of his most striking conclusions: cats don't dramatically change their behavior around humans the way dogs do. Dogs shift into a different mode. Cats just continue being cats. They treat us with the same social gestures they use with each other, which sounds simple, but it's profound. It means you're not the exception in their world. You are simply part of it, and when you're part of their world, you receive what their world offers. You receive the hunt. You receive the gift. You receive that slow, deliberate walk with something in their mouth, tail up, focused entirely on reaching you. If you've ever seen that walk, you know it looks nothing like random behavior. It looks like purpose. It looks like someone who has somewhere important to be, and something important to deliver. Because that's exactly what it is. Now here's something that might make you rethink a few past mornings. The time of day matters. Cats are crepuscular, most active at dawn and dusk. Those are their prime hunting hours, and those are the hours when gifts appear. Early morning, while you're still asleep or just waking. Your cat has been active, and the first thing they want to do with whatever they've found is bring it to you. You are their first thought in the hunt. Let that settle for a moment. There's a vulnerability in this act we rarely acknowledge. When a cat carries something in their mouth, they can't defend themselves easily. Their jaws are occupied. They're exposed. They're walking toward you in that state, open, carrying something precious. That approach, in animal behavior, is never casual. It requires a baseline of trust that takes real time to build. Your cat has decided you are safe enough to walk toward without defenses up. That matters. Think about the cats you know who don't bring gifts. The ones who hide when strangers arrive. The ones who took months to sit in the same room. Those cats aren't broken. They're operating from a different trust level. The gift behavior doesn't appear until something has been established. Until your cat runs some internal calculation and lands on, this human is safe. This human is mine. This is where I bring the good things. That is the line they've quietly crossed. For those of you who have had cats for many years, you might notice something. The gifts change. A young cat brings frantic, excited offerings. An older cat slows down, brings things quietly, deliberately, sits nearby instead of presenting loudly. The energy shifts, but the intention doesn't. Age changes how the gesture looks. It doesn't change what the gesture means. The quieter version from an older cat, who has known you for years, carries the most weight of all. There's a grief dimension to this that doesn't get talked about enough. People who have lost cats often say one of the things they miss most is the gifts, the socks on the floor, the toy by the bed. Because you realize, after they're gone, that those were not annoyances. They were check-ins. A daily reminder that someone in your house was thinking about you before you were even awake. That kind of quiet presence is enormous. You only measure it fully in its absence. I want to stay with that for a moment without rushing past it. Because if you're someone who has loved and lost a cat, you know exactly what I'm describing. And if you still have your cat, hear this. The next time they bring you something, before you react, before you think about what to do with it, just take 1 second. Look at them. Really look. Because they went somewhere, found something, and came back to you. That return to you is the whole point. We've covered the instinct, the history, the social cognition, the trust, the timing. But there's still something underneath all of it we haven't named yet. Something that connects all these pieces. It has to do with what cats are actually trying to build with us. Not just a comfortable arrangement. Not just a food source. Something that, when you look at the full evidence, starts to look surprisingly close to what most people would call a real relationship. Relationships, real ones, are built on repeated small acts, not grand gestures, not dramatic moments. They're built on showing up consistently, in small ways, over a long time. A cup of coffee made without asking. A door held open. A text that just says, "Thinking of you." Humans do this, and cats, in their own language, do exactly the same. The gift is the text that says, "Thinking of you." Sent at dawn, left at your feet, requiring nothing in return. Just offered. And here's what makes that even more striking. Cats don't need to do this. They are not pack animals who depend on social bonding for survival. They can hunt alone. They can live alone. They can biologically thrive without any relational behavior. So when a cat chooses to engage in it, when they choose to bring you into their world and keep bringing things to you, that choice is not accidental. It is, by any reasonable definition, a preference. They prefer you. Now I want to talk about something more nuanced. Because not every gift is a happy one. Sometimes cats bring things when they're anxious. When there's been a change in the house, a new person, a new pet, a shift in routine. In those moments, the gift functions almost like a question. Are we still okay? Is this still safe? Am I still part of this? They bring the offering the same way they always have. But the energy underneath it is different. Softer. More uncertain. If you've ever moved to a new home with your cat, you might have noticed an uptick in gift-giving those first few weeks. More toys moved around. More things brought to you in the night. Your cat is recalibrating. The old landmarks are gone. The familiar smells are gone. But you're still there. And so they do what they've always done. They bring things to you. Because you are the one constant. You are the anchor. In a disorienting world, you are the thing that stays. That's not a small thing. To be someone's anchor. To be the fixed point another living creature orients around when everything else is shifting. We don't always think of ourselves that way. We think of them as the dependent ones. We feed them, house them, take them to the vet. We're the caretakers. But the relationship runs both ways in ways we often underestimate. Your cat is also taking care of you. In the only language they have. With the only tools they possess. Let's talk about what happens when you respond well. When you don't recoil, don't scold, don't remove the gift with visible disgust. When you acknowledge it, even gently, with eye contact and a soft word. Cats notice. Research shows they are highly attuned to human facial expressions and vocal tones. A calm, warm response reinforces the bond. It tells them, "Message received. I see you. You brought this to the right place." And they remember that. They come back. On the other hand, a sharp reaction, a loud noise, a sudden movement away, doesn't teach your cat to stop. It just teaches them the delivery was wrong. So they try again. Different time, different object, same intention. Cats are not easily discouraged when it comes to the people they've decided to love. The The bond, once formed, is not fragile. It doesn't shatter easily. It adjusts, recalibrates, and keeps going. That is one of the remarkable things about them. There's a particular kind of cat owner I want to speak to. The ones who got a cat later in life. After the kids left. After a loss. After a big change that made the house feel too quiet and too large. If that's you, and your cat brings you things, understand something. That behavior didn't develop in a vacuum. It developed in response to you, to your energy. Your cat learned you and decided you were worth the offering. That is genuinely not nothing. The truth about cats and older adults. The bond tends to deepen with age. On both sides. Cats become more attuned to their humans over time. More sensitive to mood, more responsive to routine, more deliberate in their affection. And humans who have been through enough of life to stop needing everything, explained often find in their cats a kind of companionship that is genuinely hard to describe. It doesn't need to be described. It just needs to be noticed. The gift is one of the most noticeable expressions of that companionship. It is physical. It is intentional. It lands at your feet and requires a response. It pulls you out of your head and into the present moment. Into the room. Into the relationship. Your cat is doing something many human relationships fail to do. They are making real, tangible contact. Every single time. Without fail. Without expectation. Without any guarantee of how you'll receive it. Let's go deeper into the science now. Researchers at Oregon State University ran a series of tests on cats to measure something called secure attachment. This is a concept from human psychology, originally developed to understand how infants bond with caregivers. And what they found in cats was striking. Many cats, when their owner left a room and returned, showed the same attachment patterns as human toddlers. They used their person as a secure base, a home point. What does that mean practically? It means for a significant portion of cats, the human in their life is not just a provider. They are a psychological anchor, a source of felt safety. Behaviors like gift-giving fit directly into that framework. You bring things to your secure base. You return to your secure base. You check in when the world feels uncertain. Your cat is not just sharing a house with you. They are, neurologically speaking, attached to you. Bonded. Attachment doesn't look the same in every cat, just like it doesn't look the same in every person. Some cats are demonstrative. They bring gifts loudly, follow you room to room, announce themselves constantly. Others are quieter. They leave a toy near your shoe and disappear. They sit in the same room but at a distance. They check on you with their eyes rather than their bodies. Both of these are attachment. One is just louder than the other. Neither is more real. This is where a lot of cat owners, particularly those who grew up with dogs, get tripped up. They expect attachment to look a certain way. Tail wagging, jumping, constant proximity. And when their cat doesn't perform that version, they conclude the cat doesn't really care. But that's like saying someone doesn't love you because they express it differently than the last person who loved you. The language is different. The feeling behind it is not necessarily lesser. Here's a question worth sitting with. Have you ever noticed where your cat chooses to sleep? Not where they sleep when you're not home. Where they sleep when you are home. That choice is data. Cats don't sleep near things that stress them. Sleep is vulnerability, and cats are extraordinarily careful about where they allow it. If your cat sleeps near you, they are telling you something just as clearly as any gift they've ever left. Maybe even clearer. The gift and the sleeping location are part of the same conversation. A conversation your cat has been having with you, possibly for years, in a language you were never formally taught. Once you start to see it as a language and read the gestures and the small deliberate acts, you realize the conversation has been remarkably consistent. They've been saying the same thing in different ways since the day they decided you were theirs. Only the delivery shifts. Something comes up a lot with cat owners in their 40s and beyond. The sense that your cat knows when something is wrong, that they appear when you're sick, that they settle near you when you're grieving. that they track your emotional state with an accuracy that feels almost unsettling. Here's the honest answer: they probably do. Not through any mystical sense, but through something far more interesting. Through years of careful observation of you specifically, your cat has been studying you. Your smell, movement patterns, vocal tones, your routines. They know what your normal looks like. So when your normal shifts, when you move slower, breathe differently, stay still longer than usual, they notice. The gift behavior sometimes intensifies in those moments. More check-ins, more small offerings left nearby, because their read of you has registered. This human is not okay, and they respond the only way they know how. There are documented cases of cats detecting illness in humans. Seizures, drops in blood sugar, even certain cancers. The mechanisms are still being studied. What's clear is that bonded cats pay attention at a level most of us don't appreciate. They are reading you constantly. When the reading changes, their behavior changes with it. The gift in those moments is not just affection. It is a direct response. It's them saying, "I noticed. I'm here for you right now." And maybe that's what all the gifts have always been, underneath everything. Not just instinct. Not just hunting behavior misdirected at a confused human, but a consistent, repeated, lifelong act of showing up, of saying, "I was out there, and I came back to you. I found something, and I brought it here, to this place, to you. Because this is where I return. This is what I do with things that matter. I bring them home. And home, for your cat, is wherever you are." We're past the halfway point now, and I want to shift the angle slightly, because we've been talking mostly about what your cat is doing and why. But there's another side that deserves attention. What does it do to you? What happens inside a person when they receive these gifts, these small repeated acts of feline devotion, over months and years and decades? Because the research on that side of the relationship is just as fascinating, and just as quietly powerful. Studies on pet ownership have built a consistent picture for 30 years. Cat owners have lower blood pressure on average, lower cortisol levels, reduced risk of cardiovascular events, better sleep quality. These are not small numbers. The presence of a cat in a home produces measurable physiological changes in the humans who live there. And a significant part of that effect comes not from dramatic moments, but from small daily interactions. Like gifts. Here's what happens in your brain when your cat brings you something. Even if your first reaction is mild horror at the dead bird, something else is also firing. Your brain registers, "I was thought of. Someone came to find me." And that event triggers a release of oxytocin, the same bonding hormone that fires between mothers and infants, between close friends, between people in love. Your cat, crumpled toy in their mouth, is literally affecting your brain chemistry. This happens repeatedly. Over years, the effect compounds. People who have lived with cats for a long time often describe a kind of baseline comfort that's hard to articulate. A sense that the house is inhabited in a meaningful way. That there is presence. Part of what creates that feeling is exactly this. The knowledge, below conscious thought, that something in your home is paying attention to you, oriented toward you, in its own quiet way, looking out for you. Loneliness is one of the biggest health challenges facing adults over 40. Not just emotional loneliness, physiological loneliness. The kind that raises inflammation markers, disrupts sleep, accelerates cognitive decline. One of the most effective buffers is consistent, low-demand social contact. The kind offered without expectation, without performance, without the need to be anything other than what you are. Your cat offers exactly that. Every single day. Your cat does not need you to be impressive. They don't need you to be energetic or articulate or put together. They will bring you a gift on your worst day with the same dedication they bring it on your best. There's no performance required. No social calculation to run. You can be quiet. You can be tired. You can be sad. And they will still trot over, drop something at your feet, and look at you with that particular look. Steady, present, unchanged. Always. That consistency is rarer than we acknowledge. In human relationships, consistency is hard. People change. Circumstances change. The attention we receive fluctuates based on 1,000 variables, but a bonded cat is remarkably consistent. Their affection doesn't depend on your mood or productivity, or whether you said the right thing last Tuesday. It just continues, quietly, steadily. And over time, it becomes something you lean on without even realizing it. I want to tell you about what researchers call the buffer effect. When animals are present during stressful situations, human stress responses are measurably reduced. Heart rate stays lower. Recovery is faster. This effect is particularly strong with cats, because unlike dogs, cats don't amplify the energy in a room. They absorb it. They bring stillness. That stillness acts as an emotional regulator. Your cat is, in a very real sense, your nervous system's ally. When your cat brings you a gift and then settles near you, they are doing two things at once: making a social gesture, an offering, a connection, and also doing what they always do, simply by being present, bringing calm into the space. The gift breaks through your distraction. Their presence holds the moment open. Together, those two things create something brief but real. A small pause in whatever you were spinning through. A reminder you are not alone. And I think that's what we're really talking about. Underneath all the biology and behavior studies and evolutionary history, what it means to be chosen. Not by someone who had to choose you, but by a creature who had every option to stay distant, to live in your home without ever really letting you in, and who decided, for reasons that are partly instinct and partly something harder to name, that you were worth the reaching, worth the gift, worth the return. There's something I've been holding back until now, and I think this is the right moment. The gift behavior in cats doesn't just happen toward humans. It happens toward the cats and animals they are bonded to. A cat who loves another cat in the household will bring them things, will share, will offer. And here is what that tells us. This behavior is reserved for relationships that matter. It is not random. It is targeted. It goes to the ones who count, and you are on that list. Whatever else is true about your life, whatever complicated feelings you carry about whether you are loved enough or seen enough, this one thing is quietly true. You are on your cat's list. The short list. The one that gets the gifts. The one they come back to after every hunt, real or imaginary. You made that list not by being perfect, but simply by being present. By being there, consistently, over time. That was enough. You were enough. Now I want to address something that comes up whenever this topic gets discussed. People sometimes feel guilty about how they've responded to gifts in the past. The times they recoiled, the times they scolded, the times they were too busy to notice. If that's you, hear this clearly. Your cat is not keeping score that way. They are not cataloging your failures. The bond is not that fragile. What they track is the overall pattern. And the overall pattern is good. Cats forgive in a way that is almost architectural. They don't make a dramatic event of it. They don't require an apology or a gesture of repair. They just continue. They come back the next morning. They bring the next gift. They settle near you again as if the difficult moment simply dissolved. Because for them, in a meaningful sense, it did. The relationship is larger than any single incident. And they seem to know that intuitively, even when we forget it. Let's talk about something practical. Because after everything we've covered, you might be wondering, is there a right way to respond to a gift? And the answer is yes. Not because your cat needs a specific performance, but because your response is part of the conversation. Conversations go better when both sides are engaged. So here is what research and behavior experts suggest. Stripped of all jargon. Acknowledge it. Calmly. Warmly. With your voice and your eyes. You don't need to pick it up immediately. You don't need to make a production of it. You don't need to pretend to be more excited than you are. Just look at your cat. Say something soft. Let them see that you received it. In their language, eye contact with a slow blink means safety. A calm voice means the message landed well. A relaxed body means, yes, you brought it to the right place. That small moment of mutual recognition is what they came for. And if the gift is something you'd rather not have in the house, a real mouse, a real bird, handle it later. Out of their sight if possible, without visible distress. The goal is not to teach them what to bring. The goal is to honor the act of bringing. Those are two very different things. One focuses on the object, the other focuses on the relationship. And in all things with cats, when you focus on the relationship, you are almost always making the right call. There's a longer conversation to be had about how we talk about cats in our culture. The jokes about indifference, arrogance, their disdain for the humans who serve them. I understand where those jokes come from. Cats are not demonstrative the way dogs are. They don't perform affection for an audience. They don't need your approval to feel secure. But what we've been doing for the last hour is looking underneath that surface. And what's underneath is not cold. What's underneath is a creature who has been navigating a relationship with humans for 10,000 years, who has never been bred for obedience the way dogs were, who has always retained the right to walk away, and yet, consistently, chooses not to, who hunts alone and then comes home to you, who could sleep anywhere and chooses to sleep near you, who has no biological obligation to bring you anything and yet appears at your feet with an offering again and again. If you are still here with me, I want to say something directly. If you've watched this far, it tells me something real about you. You take the relationship with your cat seriously. You want to understand, not just coexist. I want to invite you to stay in this space with us. If you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, please do it now. We talk about cats this way every single day. With depth, with honesty, with real respect for the bond you've built. Because the people who find their way to videos like this one are not casual pet owners. You've loved a cat through something. Through a move, through a loss, through a season of life that was harder than you expected. And your cat was there, bringing you things, showing up, holding the long view of the bond even when you couldn't. That deserves more than a cute video. It deserves this kind of conversation. So stay with us. The most important things are just ahead. We've traveled a long way together in this video. From that bewildering morning moment with a dead mouse at your feet, all the way through evolutionary history, neuroscience, attachment theory, and the quiet architecture of a bond that most people live inside without ever fully seeing. And now I want to bring it all back to something small. Something you can hold. Because the biggest truths usually live in the smallest moments, and this one is no different. The gift is small. It fits in a cat's mouth. It weighs almost nothing. It takes maybe 30 seconds to deliver. And yet it carries 10,000 years of history inside it. It carries the weight of a choice, made by a creature who didn't have to make it. It carries the accumulated trust of every morning your cat woke up and decided again that you were the one to bring the good things to. Small object, enormous meaning. That gap is where the relationship lives. I want you to think about someone you love, a person, and think about the last small thing they did that made you feel seen. Not a grand gesture. A small thing. A specific thing. The way they remembered something you mentioned once. The way they showed up without being asked. The way they left something for you without making a production of it. Those small things are the actual substance of love. Your cat has been doing those acts for you this whole time. And here is what I hope you take from this. Not as a lesson, not as advice, but as a simple shift in perception. The next time your cat brings you something, you don't have to perform gratitude. You don't have to make it into a moment. You just have to be present for it. To let it register. to allow the full weight of what just happened to land, even briefly, before the day pulls you forward again. Your cat crossed the room to find you. That was real. That was love. There's a kind of peace that comes from being in a relationship where you don't have to explain yourself, where your presence is enough, where the other party has already decided you're worth it, and nothing you do on an ordinary Tuesday will change that assessment. Most humans spend their whole lives looking for that. Some find it, and some of them, without fully realizing it, have had it all along. Sitting on the windowsill, sleeping at the foot of the bed. Your cat chose a life with you. Not abstractly, specifically. They chose the particular smell of your home, the rhythm of your schedule, the sound of your voice in the morning. They oriented their entire daily existence around your presence. And they have been, in their quiet, persistent way, telling you that every single day, in the only vocabulary they have, which has never been words, which is actions, proximity, and small repeated gestures of showing up. So what do you do with all of this? Nothing dramatic. Nothing needs to change. You don't need a new routine or different toys. You just need to let yourself know what you already have. Because knowledge changes experience. Understanding changes perception. You will walk through your home differently now. You will notice things you walked past before. The toy by the door. The way they track your movement. The specific spot they always choose to settle. 10,000 years ago, a wild cat walked toward a human settlement and decided to stay. Nobody forced that. It was a choice made in the dark at the edge of a fire, by a creature weighing risk and benefit, and something harder to quantify. And that choice has been made again, every single day since, by every cat who ever walked into a human home and decided not to leave. Your cat made that choice. About you. Every morning they're still there. They're making it again. If this video meant something to you, share it with 5 people who have cats. Because the people in your life who love their cats deserve to see their animals the way you're seeing yours right now. Leave us a real comment below. Tell us about your cat. Tell us about a gift they brought you. Tell us what you want us to explore next. We read every single one, and subscribe if you haven't already. The gifts will keep coming, and now you'll know what they mean.